So, children, welcome back to our lesson, that is heritage management. In this chapter, we will cover 4 points, that is sources of history, their conservation and preservation, some famous museums, libraries and archives, and last, encyclopedias. So, children, previous lessons, whatever we have studied, this is the summary of those lessons. This year, already I told you that we were supposed to know about applied history. That means how we are going to apply history in our day to day life. So, various topics we covered, like how to conserve and preserve our monuments, our heritage sites. That is very important because we are supposed to conserve those monuments and heritage sites for our future generation. That is very important. So, under this chapter, we will study that if we want to conserve and preserve our heritage and monuments, what precautions and what type of steps we are supposed to take to preserve those things, to preserve those heritage sites and monuments. Children, already we have studied that what are the famous heritage sites of our country, which are the famous heritage sites of our country, of various states, various places which are known to people all over the world. Why they are so important? What are the significance and what are the importance behind those sites? Understood? So now today we will cover first point, sources of history and their conservation and preservation. Now see this first paragraph. The sources of history and all the history books that are available today are the result of diligent work of several historians. Diligent work, that is hard work. Institutes like libraries, museums and archives conserve and preserve this precious historical heritage. They choose important specimens from the heritage collection and exhibit them. They also publish research journals, informative pamphlets, leaflets, posters, etc. Children, we already know that what are the different sources of history and why we need to conserve and preserve those sources of history. Children, while writing history, already we have studied in your first chapter, that is historiography, what precautions and what are the steps that are to be taken while writing any history book. Understood? And whatever we are studying any historical sources, historical papers or any topic, how we are able to know about those things? With the help of those things, like we are getting information from libraries, museums and archives. See children, this is nothing but the diligent or hard work of several historians. The work of historians is very important because by those evidence or by those documents we are able to know about our past. Understood? So that work which is done by those historians, we cannot deny that they have done nothing. No children, that is very important because unless they have not written those things, we are not able to know anything about our past. So history books which is written by various historians, they are the only source through which we are able to know about our past. That is the source of history which we are supposed to conserve and preserve. Understood? So I know you have already visited so many museums and libraries, and I already told you that where is our National Archives, which is situated in New Delhi. So that archive is very important source of history, that from that archives we are able to know about various things which happened in our past. Understood? And from which we are able to make a decision, which we are able to make decision. I also told you that how Britishers they have taken, that what are the various steps they have taken to administer our country, to have good administration in our country, and from those blueprints or those documents we are able to know that what type of steps, if we want to run a country, which things we should kept in mind. So our planning commission, our government have taken, after we got our independence, we got those evidences as a proof to make planning or make rules and regulation for our country. Understood? So that is the source of history which we need to conserve and preserve for our future generation. Understood? So historical, preserve this precious historical heritage, that is very important. Because if you visit any country, if you go to any country, why people they wanted to visit so many places all over the world. We can take example of seven wonders of the world. Why it is so famous, why people they are very eager to know about those seven wonders of the world? Because they wanted to know about those things, what happened, and how beautiful architect and what beautiful type of things which was there in the past. So this we can take example of these things, that we are supposed to preserve those things for our future generation. Understood? So they choose, and time to time, we have already seen that time to time so many exhibitions are there, on national level and international level, where where these historical monuments, documents, books, and other journals, informative pamphlets, leaflets, posters are there. They exhibit all these things, so that people, the common people, they will able to know about our heritage, our beautiful cultural heritage, historical heritage. Understood? So it is very important to conserve our sources of history. Understood?